Hi, this is Alexis Rovira with the Kiteboarder magazine. We're here at Chrissy Field in beautiful San Francisco. Behind us over here is the St. Francis Yacht Club that has hosted this event. This is the first annual Kiteboard Racing Championships, and it looks like it's going to be a great event. There's plenty of riders from around the world that have come out here. Martin Vari's made an appearance, the Richmond brothers, plenty of local guys. I hear that Chip Wassen's got this thing in the bag, but there's some surprises out there. Wind's been kind of iffy, but pretty strong once the race starts, and we'll see. The rest of this day, we're going to be talking tech talk, what kites they're using, what line lengths, what fins they're using, what board specifics, and basically all the inside knowledge that these racers have to offer. Hi, I'm here with Casey Campbell, one of the riders here in this year's event. Tell me a little bit about yourself and where you're from and what brought you to the sport.
Well, I'm from San Diego, and actually I started kiteboarding I think about 4 years ago, and I was hooked ever since. So,
Well, what made you specifically get into kiteboard racing?
you know, I sail for a living. I do a lot of sailboat racing, and you know, it was just an obvious evolution for me to move right into kiteboard racing.
Nice. How long have you been doing this?
About 4 years.
Nice. I mean, the actual racing part.
Actually, racing, you know, I've done a few races, you know, over like one last year, and this is really my first real good event, and I've learned a lot, and I think that we're improving every, you know, it's really new, so.
Right on. Okay, so tell me a little bit about the gear that you're riding.
I'm riding Liquid Force gear. I have Havoc kites, and I have a Zychek board, and Curtis fins.
Now, I know there's different types of fins out there, but what specific type of fins are they using now?
You know, right now I have these fins that Curtis just made called Hammer fins.
Yep.
And, you know, they're working really good. You know, every time I'm out in the water, I learn a little bit more how to ride the board correctly. And I'm just getting the hang of it. It's really, it's an amazing board.
Nice. Another question I wanted to ask you was, seeing that you just said you just started in this sport, for someone who's never been in this, done kiteboard racing, what type of kites should they use? High aspect, medium aspect, low aspect? Is it the same type of kites that you would use when you normally are kiting?
Yeah, I think it's just about the same kites that you would normally kite with. It's basically the same type of stuff. I like the Havoc kites; they work really well for me, and but I think it's a kind of personal preference.
So when you're first starting out, and there's the windward and the leeward side, which way are you normally taking off from?
Well, you know, from doing sailboat racing, I kind of eye the line, I go down the line, I see which tack is going to be more favored. And the dangerous part is if you're on port, you have to make sure you're crossing all the starboard tackers. Right. And so it's a really critical decision. And my first race 2 days ago, I was the only one on port, and I crossed everybody. And it was an amazing feeling. Today, I think I could have done it 2 other times, but it's a do or die technique.
Tangle or no tangle.
Exactly. So you gotta go for it, and you gotta make sure that you're gonna clear or be cautious and stay with the starboard at the boat.
Nice. Well, thank you so much, Casey, for giving us a little bit of your time today.
Oh, thanks.
Thanks. Hi, I'm here in San Francisco with Chip Wassen, and we're here at the Kiteboard Championships today. And tell us a little bit about yourself.
I'm Bay Area, born and bred. Grew up in Palo Alto, live in Berkeley, went to UC Berkeley. Have a family, 3 kids and a wife, and try to kiteboard as much as I can.
So what got you into kiteboard course racing?
Well, kiteboarding was such a subjective sport, and there were problems with, I don't want to call it fairness, but, you know, a cut and dry result in kiteboarding, you know. And I came from a big windsurfing background and windsurf racing for many years, and so we started thinking about if kites could race. And initially we thought, geez, no way, it's too dangerous. You know, the lines get around someone's neck, and then the equipment started to progress, and John Gomes and I started to think about it a little bit more seriously, and then got the St. Francis Yacht Club involved, and started running races. And lo and behold, bam, it worked. You know, not too many tangles. So.
Yeah, I see that. I mean, this is a great event. I see it's growing in popularity. You have a lot of guys coming from around the world, and a lot of guys who, you know, a couple of years ago may not have been doing this sport are now finding the enthusiasm in this. And where do you see this going?
Yeah, I see it continuing to grow. You know, what racing does is it creates a metric, and you know, a 50-year-old guy can weigh in on the same metric as a 16-year-old guy, which isn't the case in freestyle kiteboarding. So, you know, here we are where we can start to use our minds in conjunction with our abilities. So it becomes a little bit of a thinking effort as well as a physical effort.
For someone who has never been in any type of racing series, how do they get into it? For the basics, the dynamics of it.
Get some equipment and enter a race, you know, basically.
Right.
You know, maybe you don't want to try to be right in the front of the pack initially, feel it out, learn the rules, and just get acquainted with how it feels to be in a congested start line, and, you know, just lean into it little by little, and then you can get more aggressive.
In other words, follow behind you. Not in front of you.
Let's hope so. We've here in the city, you know, leading up to this race, we've had a really sort of open source, so to speak, mentality about kiteboard racing, and you know, so we can bring the whole fleet up, so it pushes whoever's at the top of that fleet. And it's worked great. You know, these guys here are, you know, the majority of the fleet is just smoking. So, you know, it pushes the guys who are at the top harder and harder.
Now, you had mentioned earlier that you've got this partnership with the St. Francis Yacht Club. How has that developed?
Well, the St. Francis Yacht Club is one of the most renowned race running entities in the world. So they can run races impeccably. So, you know, you combine that with, you know, when we first started racing windsurfers, I joined the St. Francis Yacht Club as a windsurfer. And initially they were sort of like, what, windsurfing, is that sailing, what's the deal? And as soon as they saw what was happening with windsurfing racing, they were like, right on, embraced it and started to run races in windsurfing. And I think they saw the same thing coming with kiteboarding, and you know, they want to be a leader in the Corinthian world and in racing, so they're into it.
Now there's been a lot of talk about the Olympics. Give me your take on that.
Well, I think kiteboarding really could lend itself to the Olympics. There is, you know, it's doable in light air, and it gives more awareness in the mainstream of the sport. So I think ultimately, if things sort of stay on the same trajectory, we're going to see kiteboarding in the Olympics, not in 12, but maybe 16. You know, I don't know how the breeze is in London, so.
Yeah, they're a little fickle on the other side of that pond.
Yeah, exactly. But you know, I think it definitely plays to the Olympic realm quite well.
Well, I hope you have a good time out there today, and I hope you do well. Thanks a lot for your interview, Chip. Thanks.
Send the vibes.
We definitely will. We definitely will. Thanks a lot for your time. Hi, I'm here in San Francisco with Damian Leroy. I don't think I need an introduction to you. But tell me, how are you doing in this race series so far?
Well, I'm hanging in there. I think I'm in fourth right now, but I struggled at the beginning and just working on getting some gear comfortable. Kind of got some gear that works in light winds, not so good in strong winds, but you just fight your way through it. So I'm hanging in there.
Right on. Well, I know there's some pretty stiff competition out there. You know, it's one of these things where it's like, man, having the right equipment. Tell me a little bit more about your equipment that you're using.
Well, I built some stuff with my father, and we brought it down here, and it actually was almost unrideable in these conditions because it's so windy and choppy here. It's just another world. So I kind of scrambled, and I'm on some stuff that's we just got it. It came in like 2 days after the race started, and so just trying to get used to it and doing the best I can with what I got. And truthfully, it's, you know, equipment is mattering a little bit here just because conditions are changing so much, and it's not like most race areas. It's really gnarly and windy, and but they're putting on such a great event, and the level is just incredible. It's just, you screw up one little bit, you're going to drop 5 places. It's unreal. It's great. It's great racing.
Now, road leading to the Olympics. I know there's some big talk about that, and the sailing community is like kind of iffy on it. What's your take, and where would you like to see it go?
Yeah, for sure. I'd love to see it go to Olympics. I think it can. I think, there's some more class rules and some things that we got to get more structure, because a couple little things that make it challenging right now, as far as, some protests that maybe could be stopped because of just simple rules of start times and whatever, little things like that that can make it easier. But as far as, it all coming together, I think it's spectacular. It's very legit. It's as legit as you can get. They're doing a great job. We're trying to race as normal as, sailboats would do. So I think it's just a matter of how many people jump on board.
Right. Physical training, any different than being on any other tour?
Yeah, I came here a week early, and I can tell you it helped for sure. This place, everyday wind, and it's colder, so your body takes a wear. If you get chilly, you lose, more energy. I think for sure training. I think in the future, when it would become Olympics or even next year's Worlds, everybody knows how serious it is now. So,
any tips for the guys just starting out, the guys that want to get into the racing series?
For sure, just do your research on some gear and try to understand what's going on. A good set of gear, a good board, and good kites will really help you out for sure. And then it just comes down to getting used to your gear. Farley's the perfect example. He's been riding that board forever and just getting so fine-tuned on it that he's just dominating. It's pretty incredible. So.
Well, cool. Any shout-outs out there, sponsors, family?
For sure. Cabrina, MPX, Lynch, Corner 5, Black Dog, you guys are amazing, and my dad, our boards are the best, but a little tough right now.
I know. Well, thanks so much for your time.
Thank you.
Thanks. Bye. Hi, I'm here in San Francisco at the World Kite Racing Championships. I'm here with Melissa Gill. How you doing, Melissa?
Good. How about you?
Pretty good, pretty good. So tell me what brought you into this sport?
Oh, I've been course racing. Well, basically I do all the disciplines in kiteboarding. I do freestyle, I did speed this year. I do the course racing, waves. I like to participate in everything and be a part of it. And this is a really big event. It's the first ever kiteboarding course racing world championship. So I'm pretty happy to be participating in it.
Well,
I've come to San Francisco last year and the year before, so.
Cool. Well, I know there's not a lot of women kiters who are out there doing it, but
Yeah.
tell me what motivated you to start doing it, and where do you see it going for the women?
Well, basically all my team riders from Cabrina, they're big racers, so I started practicing with them back home, and then I just decided to give it a shot and compete. I know there's not that many girls, but hopefully soon there'll be more. I think with it getting bigger, maybe more girls will try it. Sometimes there's local girls and you tell them, why aren't you competing? They're like, oh, no, I'm not at that level. But I remember when I started competing, I wasn't at that level either.
Right.
But you still learn, and it makes you better because you just,
Now, is there any big difference between the equipment that you're using compared to the guys, or is it pretty much the same stuff?
Everybody's using so much different things. Like even the guys are doing different
there's
stuff.
a lot out
so
there, isn't it?
yeah, I'm using some Cabrina boards that they made, Ian Pointing, and then I'm using Neil's board also, and JS Designs. So that's kind of what Farley's using, but.
Yeah. So there's been a lot of talk about the Olympics, and what do you think about that?
Some if kiteboarding went, we're all hoping that happens.
Yeah. Pretty good weather out there. So how are you doing so far in this race series?
Right now, so I don't know.
What will it take for you to get first, huh?
Oh, it's pretty hard. The girl that's in first place, Steph, she's pretty good. She's like one of the guys, so I don't know about that. But it's cool to see somebody do that good. So
that's awesome.
I mean, the level's really high. All the good girls from all over the world are here. So
yeah. Any shout outs to sponsors or family?
yeah, Cabrina and the Kind, they helped me get here. The Black Dog, Transcend, and PX wetsuits because I always get cold.
Right on. Well, thanks so much for your time and good luck out there.
Thanks.
I don't think I need an introduction for this young man over here, Mr. Richmond. How you doing today?
Good, thanks, man. And yourself?
Pretty good. Fun out here in San Francisco, huh?
Yeah, man, this is a really great event. We're out at the Worlds, and it's been really good so far, and hopefully will be a good last day.
Right on. Let's talk a little bit more about the equipment that you're using.
Okay, well, I'm using all Cabrina crossbow kites, and then for my boards, I'm working with a few different shapers right now. I got Alex Aguera and his boards, and then with Cabrina, Ian Ponting and their boards, and they're both really amazing, and there's so much development going on, and really all the riders and all the shapers and everyone's having so much input into it, and it's just getting better and better.
Right on. Well, how does this compare to being in the PKRA?
A lot different. You know, this is like really solid, strictly racing, pretty much sailing racing with kites. Yeah. You have the yacht club here and everything super strict, you know, all the rules and stuff, where like the KPWT or the PKRA, yeah, it's really, you know, a lot more relaxed and more about the freestyle, and the racing's up there, but still, you know, it's a lot lower, where this is like huge.
Right on. Well, the road to the Olympics, a lot of people have been talking about that. What's your take on it?
Man, to get kiting in the Olympics would be awesome. That'd be really amazing, and I really hope that it's in the future. I'm not sure how we'll get it there or what it'll be, but it'd be awesome to get it there, and I can't wait to see it.
Right on. Well, thanks a lot for talking today. Good luck, and it's been great talking to you. By the way, actually, I wanted to ask you another question. What do you have for breakfast this morning for breakfast of champions?
Bowl of cereal.
That's it? That's it? The Wheaties? They're right on.
Exactly.
Well, thanks a lot for your time.
Thanks, man.
Hi, I'm here with Steph Bridge at the World Kite Championships. And tell us how you're doing today.
Yeah, I'm good. Had a big night last night, but I'm now getting over it. We got some wind here, and it's the last day of the event. We've got 2 races and then a medal race, so it's quite exciting.
Yeah, you're in first place right now, aren't you?
Yeah.
Beating a lot of the guys, too, I hear.
Yeah, it's going well. Well, I mean, yeah, but I made a lot of mistakes as well. And it's been good. We're learning lots. Every day we're getting better because we've been used to the conditions and the tide and got to know the place a bit now.
Nice.
Yeah.
I know there's not a lot of girls racing at this event, but the level, the quality of racing that you girls have been doing is just amazing. I think a lot of guys have been really blown away by it. Tell me, how is it a little bit on the starting lineup and all that good stuff?
Yeah, it's a good vibe on the start. There always is, especially yesterday when we did a couple of pin end starts, and oh, it was rocking. It was really good. It was a memorable race yesterday when we were starting, for sure.
Now, tell us that there's a lot of girls out there that are not into kiteboard racing but are kiters. What does it take for them to get into this type of series and progress through the levels?
Sure. Yeah, I think one of the key things is that they shouldn't be put off just seeing like a load of guys racing on these strange boards. A lot of people are put off because the equipment's quite big and heavy, but one of the things the girls have got to get their heads around is just riding on a surf. Just go and ride some waves, take a surfboard, leave your twin tip at home, and get used to riding a surfboard and learn to turn it around, learn to jibe it, and eventually learn to tack it and get like really at one with that surfboard. And then yeah, you know, go racing and get like, I'll put my North sponsor in there, North Race Limited board, which is rocking for this year, and turn up on the race course, and you'll be super competitive because there's not many girls in it, hey. So we want to get some more.
Now, there's been a lot of talk about the Olympics and the road to the Olympics. What
Sure.
are your take on that?
Yeah, well, I mean, if it happens then fully on, hey, I think I'll be well past it by then. But hey, maybe my kids will be up to doing it, so we'll see. Okay,
right on. Talk a little bit more about the equipment that you're using. What kites are you using? What board?
Yeah, well, I've got a Race Limited from North Kiteboarding, and then I've also got like a carbon model of the same board, which seems to be a bit quicker, but I think it's because it's a little bit bigger. So I'm able to sort of keep going through the lulls in it maybe more, and it points really high. Downwind, it's okay, it's not like super fast. And then I've been using long lines for lighter winds and North Rebel 2010. Yeah. So that's good, yeah. And cool. A good old butt harness.
Talk about a little bit more of the training aspect. What training are you doing for this course racing? A little bit more on the calves than on normal stuff? Yeah.
I mean, we've been racing like in Europe for the last 6 weeks. So to be honest, I haven't done anything really in addition. Just been going to one event to the next and just keeping myself fit, you know, and not getting injured. That's the key. When you've got so many events, you don't want to pick up an injury. So you just keep that level going. But then in the winter time, yeah, it's all about the rollerblading. I just kite in the waves, so that's my training back at home. And then stuff like swimming. I swim in the sea swim. That's what I do.
Now, is there any special meal that you had this morning? Breakfast of champions, what do you have?
Mate, every morning I roll out of my couch where I'm sleeping, and we check down this 901 Columbus Cafe, which is like burritos. No, what is it? It's it's like this spinach and egg, and then we have a waffle with chocolate, and then we have about 2 massive coffees.
Oh my God, that's the breakfast of champions.
And then, that's it, it's like we're set up for the day.
Oh my God.
But everyone's so super healthy here, so everything we've done has just been wrong. But hey, we'll start next week.
Any special shout outs out there, friends, family, sponsors?
Yeah, I mean, for me, I'd like to thank my family because they let me come, my husband and my kids, and then for my sponsors, North Kiteboarding, XL Wetsuits, they're rocking, and to Dirk, who's working at North, who keeps me going with fins and screws and mending my board and everything. Yeah.
Right on. Well, good luck out there, and I hope you get first place.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.